Happy Tuesday. All right, if you have ever dreamed about how cool it would be to be Princess So-and-so of the British royal family, tap the brakes just a quick second. From the way you eat to the way you walk downstairs, even to the color of your nail polish. It's much more than just castles, tiaras, and fancy events. This video was inspired by our recent trip to England to celebrate my husband's family reunion. Although some of these rules are just for our own entertainment, some of them you and I as commoners can adopt just as a matter of basic social grace and etiquette. Here are 16 etiquette rules the royal family must follow. The Duchess slant. I know you've heard of this. As far as etiquette rules go, one of the worst is to sit with your legs crossed at the knee. I know, if you're an American like me, you're like, ooh, geez, I do that all the time. It's actually considered tacky and common. Princess Catherine popularized the Duchess slant. That is, keeping your knees and your ankles together tightly, slanting her legs just to the side, which not only still follows protocol, but it makes her legs look longer and her posture nice and upright. I'm adopting this one. Entering the room in order. When entering the room as part of a procession, the royal family enter and are seated in the order of who is next in line to the throne. For us commoners, when entering a room, or maybe more likely a restaurant with a group of people, the proper way to enter is with the oldest lady leading first, then the gentleman. If we're going out to dinner with my family, which we do quite a bit, it would be my mother, followed by myself, followed by my sister, then my dad, and Oliver, my husband. Obviously, if you're out with a bunch of people and you don't know who's oldest, just take the lead. Better safe than sorry. Cover the boobage. Remember images of Princess Diana exiting a vehicle and lightly putting her clutch over her chest as she exited? She did it for practical reasons, to avoid flashing too much cleavage, and of course paparazzi, who are probably all men, waiting to get a photograph of that cleavage. I mean, come on. I actually do this myself when exiting the vehicle. If we're at a valet on date night, I swing my legs around, I take the hand of the valet, I kind of naturally put my clutch over my chest, and I step out. It's just more ladylike. Dressing appropriately. Although each royal woman has her own unique style, of course, Princess Diana's still to this day classic, elegant, and functional, whereas Queen Elizabeth loved bright, beautiful, monochromatic colors, and Princess Catherine's is classy, simple, and effortless. That being said, they all have one thing in common. They dress modestly and for the occasion. For us commoners, although we certainly have the ability to dress a little less modest, the takeaway to me is dressing appropriately for the occasion. Dressing for dinner with your parents, your in-laws, or business associates is much different than something that you might wear for a hot date night. Either way, whatever you wear should exercise good taste and be appropriate for what you're doing. Must travel with morning clothes. No, not morning clothes like your robe and your slippers. If you watched The Crown like I did, you'll remember that in 1952, when King George VI died, then Princess Elizabeth were vacationing in Africa. They actually had to fly back to England in their regular clothes because of course they didn't bring black morning clothes along with them. Since then, royal family members have to travel with morning clothes in the event that a family member dies. Light nail polish. Although there's no actual protocol with regard to the color of nail polish that royal women can wear, it's been said that they are discouraged from wearing super dark nail polish. Instead, most of the women opt for the Queen's favorite color, ballet slippers by Essie. I like that color too, it's really pretty. That being said, it's really more about being appropriate. While you wouldn't see a dark nail polish at like a bridal party, or if one of the royal family were getting married, you certainly might see it at British Fashion Week when there's a little more leeway with what they can wear and you want to have a little more fun with fashion. Holding utensils correctly. As Americans, our way of eating is really a little less efficient, right? We hold forks with the left, knife with the right, cut, put the knife down, switch, and eat. A little inefficient. The royal family uses European dining style. Like Americans, it's the fork in the left with the tines down, knife in the right, but instead of switching hands, the knife never leaves the right hand. You simply push food onto the tine and lift it up to your mouth. More efficient and, in my opinion, definitely more graceful. Holding teacups properly. My in-laws love, love, love their tea time. Every day they enjoyed 11sies, which is tea and a biscuit generally around 11 a.m. and then always afternoon tea, which is of course tea, and then they usually like to have a piece of cake or something sweet. Being British through and through, they have impeccable manners in general, and especially when it came to proper teacup etiquette. Use their thumb and forefinger to hold the top of the handle while the middle finger supports the bottom. Ding, 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 ding. They also sit from the same spot to avoid lipstick stains all around the cup. That's just gross. Leave the table without an announcement. When royals need to use the restroom during a meal, they simply say, "Excuse me," and leave it at that. Napkin folded in half. Royals keep their napkin folded in half using the inside to wipe their hands and their face. This serves two particular purposes. First, so food and any debris aren't inadvertently transferred to their clothing. And secondly, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. Really, nobody wants to see the food and debris that you've wiped on your napkin as they're trying to enjoy their meal, so it just keeps it a little more on the DL. Stop your eating when the king does. King Charles sets the pace of the meal. As soon as he takes his last bite and puts down the fork, put yours down too, because you're done eating also. If you're still hungry, too bad. So, eat fast. Handshaking. Simple, straightforward, and probably something you ladies do already. Keep direct eye contact with the person, grasp their hand firmly, but don't do the death grip. 1 to 2 shakes, no more, and give them a bright, pearly, British royal smile. Ding! Descending the stairs gracefully. This is probably something that you have to practice. I still haven't gotten the hang of it. I'm super clumsy. Men in the royal family offer their hand to their spouse when descending the stairs, especially at a royal event or a formal event, for obvious reasons. Women keep their chin parallel to the ground and descend down the stairs gracefully. If there's a banister, they place their hand lightly onto it without doing the death grip and descend the stairs. For us commoners, and tell me if you agree, ladies, I think this is just basic gentlemanly behavior. When Oliver and I are out, he always offers me his arm. I think it's just second nature. He went to boarding school in England. Smart move on his part, because I'm pretty clumsy and I would be the one to bite it. Dress code. This reminds me of high school. We had a very strict dress code. The women of the royal family are expected to wear pantyhose, heels versus wedges, and keep their dresses and skirts no shorter than knee length. Side note, you will never, ever, ever catch me in flesh-colored pantyhose. No shellfish. This is actually an ancient tradition that a lot of royals adhered to in order to avoid food poisoning. While Queen Elizabeth did adhere to that, it's not actually required of the rest of the royal family. I personally follow this rule if we're traveling and leaving on a flight the next day. Come on, nothing sounds worse than waking up and having awful food poisoning the day you're supposed to board a plane. No autographs, please. Did you know that the royal family is not allowed to sign autographs? Well, you know now. Why? Well, because it increases the risk of people forging their signatures. I don't think us commoners need to worry about that. Okay, y'all, those were 16 rules the royal family must follow. This was just for fun and entertainment. And until a couple days from now, I'll see y'all soon. Bye.